Welcome to another episode of Casual Cinephilia, where enthusiastic amateurs talk very passionately about movies. I'm Ian.
I'm Lorian, and today we're talking about Aladdin.
Which, when it was first announced, I was wholeheartedly against. This whole...
To clarify, this is the 2019
Correct.
live-action remake. Guess that's important.
Little 5-year-old me.
I don't want it!
No, just Disney's been on this streak for what, the last like 5
God, like
to
a
6
decade
years.
now.
Is it a decade now? Of remaking their classics. It started with Maleficent? Or
I don't know.
I
don't remember what it started. I mean, technically it probably started with that Glenn Close 101 Dalmatians, and it's been 2 decades.
Fair enough.
Anyways.
I was wholeheartedly against it because the original Aladdin was one of my childhood staples. It was Aladdin and it was Lion King. Those are my two
This
Disney
is a rough
movies.
summer for you.
Yeah. However, after watching this movie, I have a little bit more hope about it because
I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, it was actually a good movie.
I had a fun time watching it.
Yeah.
And it was also my favorite as a kid.
Yeah.
Disney movie.
Which is weird because you're a girl.
I know. I once had... You remember when video stores were a thing and they would rent you VHS tapes?
Right, yeah.
My parents let us pick one on Friday nights. We'd each get to pick one. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to rent Fern Gully one night.
Oh.
And I had the woman at the cash register look at me in my little child face and say, "That's a boys' movie. You should pick something different."
What?
And from that moment on, I've been like, fuck you all! I'm gonna watch Fern Gully!
How is Fern Gully a boys' movie?
Idea. Maybe because there's machines in it?
I guess.
I don't know. It's got fairies and shit.
Know your place.
It's a
Natural
pretty
activism
neutral,
is a male's
right?
world. Male dominated.
Pretty neutral movie, but...
Yeah.
So...
Fair enough. So, the big thing that I had against this movie before it was released, before, any reviews, just my own premeditated bias against it was there's no way you could replace Robin Williams.
Sure.
And I think they did a great job of not replacing Robin Williams. Like, it was Will Smith playing the genie, but it was very clear that it was a different kind of genie.
Right.
Different references, different style. And they actually did I don't know if you saw it, there's a little, throwback to the original genie in the cave when he pulls down the thing. It's
of course
the original.
I saw it. It's on screen for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I wrote down about that too. That was nice.
I loved that. That was a beautiful little homage to the original movie and the original genie.
Yeah.
And I feel like they respected the character. I feel like they respected the story. And I really loved it. And a thing that I didn't realize, because I've been purposefully neglecting everything about this movie because I was very hesitant, but it's a Guy Ritchie film.
Yep.
And he's one of my favorite directors, and I should have known it was him. And I should have been more excited about it because of him. But you could tell it was a Guy Ritchie film. There was amazing cinematography, the color design, the color palette of the movie was awe-striking. I loved it. But yeah, I mean, for a Disney remake of a classic, it was a pretty darn good movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I have generally disliked the Disney live-action remakes. For some reason, the trailers for this one, I was actually excited going into it. I don't know. Which is a dangerous stance, but I did enjoy it a lot. It was really pretty.
It was very pretty.
First of all, and I appreciate that they at least put art in more than this of their new remake movies, but they seem to be putting more effort into casting people appropriate to the ethnicity of the characters they are trying to portray on film.
Hooray!
It's nice to see.
I think I enjoyed the casting because the guy they got for Aladdin
He
was instantly lovable, I thought.
born the year the original animation came out.
Oh, that makes me feel so old.
He's 2 years younger than us.
I know,
but
like,
still.
he's a movie star, and I'm
Well-
making a movie podcast.
Someone has to do it, Ian.
But, like, I felt like everyone they cast fit the characters.
Oh, I agree.
Great. I
Yeah, it
loved
was
the
nice.
Sultan. He was... who is he?
I don't know.
Naveed Nagadban. I don't know who
Have
that
I
is.
seen him in anything?
12 Strong, Homeland... Charlie Wilson's... He was in Charlie Wilson's War. I liked that.
I don't think I saw that.
He was in Legion. The show Legion.
I do watch Legion. So, what did he play in Legion? I was talking away from the mic.
Amal Farouk.
Oh, yes. That's where I recognize him from.
American Assassin. A lot of B-rate movies. I don't know. I really liked him. Oh, he was in The Mentalist. He was Hassan Zarif. Homeland. He was Abu Nazir.
Did you spot the Alan Tudyk?
No, I didn't. Wait.
Guess.
Alan Tudyk's in this?
Guess what Alan Tudyk played. Without looking it up, you cheating.
It's with the weird roles that he's been playing. Was he the parrot?
Yeah.
Oh.
He played Iago.
I mean, I loved him as Hey Hey.
Right.
So, I mean, the next step is to play a parrot.
It's a logical progression.
It is a logical progression. I appreciated that they didn't go full cartoony with
Yeah,
Iago.
me too. Iago and Abu were both less anthropomorphized. They still spoke. Abu had about the same amount of speaking and quotes.
It's that R2-D2 style of speak where they're not speaking English, but you know exactly what
Right.
they're saying.
I mean, Iago spoke in English.
Yeah, but it's a parrot, and
Yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
sense. And
It was good. I liked it.
I loved the antagonization of Iago to Jafar, where he would always repeat the negative things that he knew how to heat up Jafar,
Right.
which I thought was great. So let's get into our conflict.
Oh, okay.
Jafar.
I don't even know what it is yet. You said, nah, and I said, nah, and you said, later.
Way to ruin the facade. It was a heated argument.
I don't know what you're about to say right now, please. We're all waiting on pins.
On bated breath. I loved the villain Jafar in this movie. I thought
Sure.
he was great. He was a great antagonizing character that just was intelligent and one step ahead of the protagonist and was
Sure.
just a good villain. I did not see him as Jafar, though.
Okay, but explain why, though.
Just so in the original movie, he's an older,
Sure.
on the same age scale, maybe a little bit younger than the Sultan himself.
Sure.
And it builds on that desire to be Sultan because he maybe is even older than the Sultan. And
Sure.
it's that, why does this person get it rather than me? And the Jafar in the current one, the 2019 Aladdin, was the same age range as Jasmine and Aladdin. And it just seemed like he was a power-hungry millennial,
He was
quote unquote.
at least a decade or two older than them.
But closer to them
Sure.
than the Sultan. And I'm not using that to take away from his villainy, his character, because he was a great villain.
Sure.
But I don't know, just Jafar had such a stature of greasy nobility in the first one. And this one, he seemed like a tech entrepreneur, cutthroat
Sure.
guy. And it just...
I think that since they wanted to take out the bikini-clad Jasmine storyline, the way he was written before wouldn't have worked in this story. I think that's the only reason they changed it.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things where I understand why they changed
it's
it.
Jasmine's fault why you hate Jafar. She got more agency, so he got less. Which isn't true, but is a fun thing to say at you and watch your face change.
Wow, that turned quick.
All your finger wagging was really fun to watch as you tried to formulate words.
Yeah.
You know, just the greasy, slimy old man who wants to marry her doesn't work as well in a storyline where she's just going to be like, ha, no.
Yeah. Well, and I do appreciate that in the new one, they kind of eliminated that storyline completely of him trying to get her.
Right.
Which I thought was good. The plotline in itself, I felt, though it stayed true to the feel of the original, I think had some really good alterations and changes.
I agree, yeah.
That made it, I don't know, feel more was at stake. Mm-hmm. And it felt good. I loved the little side story of the genie falling for the handmaiden. That was cute.
I like that actress. What has she been in just like recently that I know her from? Something.
Nassim Pedrad. She's in Despicable Me.
New Girl. It's
New Girl. She's in New Girl. There you go. And she's on Saturday Night Live. She's adorable. She was
she is
adorable and really funny.
Yeah.
I loved the interactions with her when she's realizing that she's supposed to be pretending to be the princess. Mm-hmm. It's like, I am going to go to my cart that has the gold in it. Come, cat. I must clean you. Like, don't cats clean themselves? It was really funny. The humor in this was good.
I liked all of their updates. I liked the update they did to the sort of structural spine of the music. The instrumentation was both made more appropriate for the setting and more appropriate for the cast.
Yeah.
Because they did take it closer toward the hip-hop vibe. Not in any weird, inappropriate, mismatchy way, but they took it closer with, like, the background of the beats and stuff was stronger to suit the style of Will Smith.
Yeah.
And really the choreography was throughout a really nice hybrid of, like,
it was like
hip-hop and Bollywood.
Yeah. It was...
Which is a shockingly small veil when you watch it happen. You're like, oh, I guess the physicality of those is pretty similar. It's just sort of the follow-through and shapes that are different.
So... I'm going to stamp my man card here. Every once in a while, I watch, not World of Dance, Not So You Think You Can Dance. Maybe So You Can. One of the big, like, dance competitions. I watch it with Rachel, and there's a group on there called The Kings, and they're a Bollywood hip-hop dance group. And my first thought, and they're in the current season. I don't know if they just finished or not, but it's like, if they were one season earlier, they would have been in this movie. Like, I feel kind of bad that they missed that opportunity. It's like
maybe they were.
Maybe they might have been in it, but because there were so many dancers.
There was a lot of fun dancing in this. Yeah. I did not have a chance to look it up and can't find it at the drop of a hat to see if Aladdin was doing his own dancing and parkour, because it looked like he was. It's either really, really seamless, like CG meshing. Yeah. With his stunt guy, or he's a very impressive athlete as well.
I mean, either way, it's impressive.
Right.
Whether it's him doing it or the text behind making it look like he did it.
Yeah, it's... The physicality of Aladdin was really well done. Mm-hmm. Because they got that cartoonish, over-the-top parkour thing, which... You know, thank God has become a sport, so that we could make this movie.
Yeah.
But, it was clearly a real person doing it. There weren't any weird blown out, like the fabric on his pants was animated so badly. You could catch the CG kind of moments. I don't think there was CG, like, to be clear. It was really impressively done. Especially, like, I went to rewatch a perfectly legally obtained recording of the Broadway version of Aladdin. And it's just a bummer. Really? Because